Good night, Stevani. Sweet dreams.
I'm here again. Huh? What is... Whoa.
Got a special someone or want to treat yourself to something nice this Valentine's Day? Use code CUPID to get 20% off your purchase in our Teespring store. Get one of our mini Roundtable designs. Or maybe our Steven Universe inspired looks suit you better. Offer ends February 15th. Link in the description. Welcome back to Crystal Clear on the Roundtable. I'm AwestruckVox and I love a good mystery. In fact, the animated series that have helped me capture the longest are all ones that had a mystery element at some point in time. Who is the masked man known as Amon, hellbent on vanquishing benders from Public City and by extension, the world? How can he strip that ability away from benders? What's the deal with the Zodiac at the end of the Gravity Falls theme song? What is Stan Pines hiding from his family? And who is the author of the journals? Give me the 411 on the shadowy figure hanging around Lakewood Plaza Turbo. Why does he know about the power inside of KO? Is Eddie's brother as cool as Eddie says he is? Okay, you can see I'm mostly hooked on mysterious identified character plot lines and television shows. And some of these answers were either very satisfying or missed the mark entirely. I'm looking at you, Amon in the Gravity Falls wheel. Please, please don't suck, shadowy figure. I need you to be cool and also laser blast. But that's for an OKKO theory. I'm even a sucker for the run-of-the-mill cliches that you'd find in a typical Scooby-Doo episode. Tropes of a beloved character being framed. The obvious, it has to be them red herring. The evidence not adding up beyond face value. It all hits the right spot. That being said, these are all things we can check off in Steven Universe as of the trial. God, I love that episode. It's such a 10 out of 10 for me. I can watch it all day long. Maybe I'll make a fun little bonus video gushing about those glorious 11 minutes in the near future. Back to those cliches. Rose Quartz may have not shattered Pink Diamond, but was framed by someone of a higher power, and considering gems possess the ability of shapeshifting, it isn't impossible to pull off. Yellow Diamond's very anxious to get the trial over with from the get-go, and the deeper Zircon's defense gets, the more Yellow's temper rises. And of course, once everything was laid out on the table, the evidence, or lack thereof, Rose Quartz shattering Pink Diamond does not add up. All Homeworld really had on records was claims, Gems saying it happened, and while they may not necessarily be lying, heck, eyeballs seem pretty sold, it's apparent something bigger is afoot. Thus, the big question surrounding all of this. How on earth are we going to find out who shattered Pink Diamond? Seriously, trying to solve this murder mystery is like trying to convince myself I'm going to the gym all 5 days of the week. Steven can tell himself whatever he wants, it's just not happening. Jokes aside, it feels like we've kind of hit a brick wall in advancing this plot thread. We're unsure of who was all there when Pink Diamond met her end, excluding Eyeball. And I don't think she's willing to exchange information with Steven. The only angle I can see of her complying is A, Steven managing to unconvince Eyeball he's Rose Quartz and get her to buy into the whole human gem hybrid thing, and B, if the rubies are granted another crack at retrieving Jasper, and Steven strikes a deal on giving Jasper's gem in exchange for information. Discounting Eyeball, we're more or less clueless on where the rest of Pink's court went after the court itself was assembled in the beginning of Era 2. A good portion of the amethysts were relocated to the zoo under Blue's control. Jasper transferred to Yellow going forward, but that's all we have. Homeworld has so many colonies, and we've only scratched the surface. It could take Steven ages to track down every last cut of gem that once donned the pink insignia. That's time he does not have, nor does the show itself have. The mystery can only be dragged on for so long before it loses its luster. And yeah, we can infer the off-color serves Pink Diamond. Peep out that theory if you haven't already. And yeah, Steven may have not made the connection, not looking to them for guidance. Knowing how the show operates, the best bet is that they're all unaware what happened that fateful day, just going off of what traveled through the grapevine. Hell, they thought the Earth was decimated in the Diamond attack. We also know at least the Roundtable twins have never set foot on the planet. As they remarked, they look forward to a planet of sand and water on Lars's course home. There's still a possibility of Patty being present when it all went down, which can be avoided coming up in the show by Patty being incredibly frustrating to talk to. Like, has anyone actually tried carrying a conversation with her? People shout things at her, and she lets her visions be known, but we have yet to see an actual extensive chat with her and another character. Any revelation would likely come up once it's addressed by someone else. An interjection paparazzi would make if anything. The crystal gems at this point in the story are also rendered pretty useless when contributing valuable information. In fact, they're still left in the dark that Steven and the Diamonds are now questioning the truth of Pink's fate.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Amethyst emerged after the war was said and done. Her and Garnet firmly believe Rose was the one who shattered Pink Diamond anyways, and we're not sure if Garnet was present when the deed was done. Pearl is a riddle all in herself, as the whole covering her mouth may mean she has information she can't divulge situation has yet to come to a head. Maybe she knows what really happened, or maybe she too is under the impression Rose somehow shattered Pink. If she does know, we won't find out until after Steven, and by extension we ourselves, learn the truth. Because from a storytelling perspective, that's just how things work. Why simply have a character tell us what happened when we can go on an epic adventure to uncover the secret? Blue Zircon and Blue Diamond may be inspired to investigate further into the case, but really, how much of the code can they crack? They can scan the ends of the earth for evidence. Yet, if someone was calculated enough to pull off shattering Pink and leaving everyone fooled in the first place, they'd be just as wise to cover up their tracks. So, if no one serves useful to Steven's search to find out who really shattered Pink Diamond, is there any hope of that conflict resolving? Well, yes. 3 things that have been introduced throughout the series come to mind that will advance Steven's quest. One of which has come into play in the most recent episode, Jungle Moon. His powers, Buddy Budwick's journal, and Pink Diamond's moonbase. His powers being the most integral to all of this, and the latter 2 being passageways, almost a cheat sheet in steering him into the right directions. Allow me to explain. Steven's powers, more specifically his empathetic telepathy, are all he needs to blow the lid off everything. With his empathetic telepathy, Steven has been able to connect with the Lighthouse Gem and Horror Club, communicate with Lapis Lazuli and Jasper when they refuse his malachite, ease the cluster from forming, rid Kiki's dreams of nightmares, possess Watermelon Stevens, Lars, and even see through Blue Diamond's eyes. The show stealer in Jungle Moon was Stevani assuming the role of Pink Diamond through one of her memories. Now, it's unclear if this was achieved purely through Stevani, or if Steven can do this himself, and Connie's involvement just muddied the waters of the dream by replacing Yellow Diamond with her mother, Priyanka. After all, Steven knows what Yellow Diamond looks like, but Connie doesn't, which caused Stevani's dream to broadcast this memory as some sort of meeting halfway. Now the latter, Steven being able to access these memories without Stevani, means they just did this for dramatic build-up, for us to figure out Stevani's stand-in for Pink Diamond leading into the face reveal. The former means for this story to advance, Stevani's going to need to be around frequently in order to tap into other memories, which lines up with her voice actress, AJ Michalka, stating there's a lot more Stevani in Season 5 at Beat CityCon. Make no mistake that we're supposed to be left in the dark on how this ability operates, if Stevani is needed or not, or else it makes the resolution kinda obvious. Steven is going to need to travel to locations Pink Diamond attended and once again tap into and relive those memories until he has the bigger picture. That's how he'll figure out who really shattered Pink Diamond. However, him falling asleep to achieve this is way too easy and would get repetitive fast. Imagine how boring it would be having an entire bomb of Steven going camping from point A to point B, and at the end of the episode he unlocks a new memory. It's formulaic, mundane, something that would work in a video game, but not in an ongoing television series that wants its viewers to tune in every week. I think Steven will try the falling asleep trick again, with the success rate being a big fat 0, even fused as Stevani. To view these glimpses of the past, I think they'll be triggered by a mixture of various things, including dreams that double as memories, or stepping foot on various sites and feeling what Pink felt, similar to the Lighthouse Gem or the cluster when Peridot drilled into it, or making contact with various artifacts that set forth a flurry of visions before his very eyes. Because although yeah, a majority of the times his empathy powers work happen while he was sleeping, the viewers need to be reminded it isn't exclusive to slumber. Mix it up a little every time. That way we never know what to expect when going to an episode revolving around Pink Diamond. How will he learn more about her this time? Even have an instance or two where trying to trigger a vision fails, reminding the audience that he doesn't win all the time. Or he doesn't activate a look into history, but gains new intel through another unexpected mean. There's a realistic lesson that shouldn't be just taught once or twice. That while you lose sometimes in life, you can also win in other ways. losing happens. But making a positive out of a negative is a possibility as well. That's not to say Steven the Gems do always win, but come on, he keeps getting lucky. Like, really lucky. I'm not saying he has to fail from saving his loved ones from certain destruction, but instead of having his powers work as a convenience, have him work at perfecting them, which can't be done without messing up a few times. His empathy powers aren't all there is to the solution though, where again I'm going to bring up Buddy's book and the moon base. If Steven were to just wander around anywhere he assumed Pink Diamond once was, he'd frustrate himself more than anything. He needs a map. Buddy's book has a literal map illustrated inside its contents, dubbed by Pearl and Garnet as convenient markings of all the places where you should absolutely, under no circumstances, visit if you'd like to keep your short life. And only the bravest, most courageous, most memorable explorers would dare to visit these fascinating places, aka gem locations. If you're wondering, wait, did he copy the map down into his journal? Steven's dream solidifies this with the documented location of the Palanquin. It may not be one for one, but I'm confident the map was repurposed into the journal. Considering these are constructs and places familiar with gems on a planet that was intended as Pink's first colony, it makes sense Pink Diamond herself made an appearance here and there at some point. As someone who loves callbacks, I'm totally down for Steven to revisit locations long forgotten by the viewers. For the show to go, hey, remember this place from season 1? It's actually super important to the plot now, would just sit so right with me. It's actually part of the reason I enjoyed Buddy's book. It was as if the Crewniverse was saying, season 1 matters, not just the episodes of Lapis and Peridot. There was about 11 to 13 markings made on the map, and we only saw 4 of them. 5 if you want to count the strawberry battlefields. The Crewniverse is known for planning certain plot points far in advance, whether it be through subtle background details like here, or clever dialogue you don't think much of until months, if not years later. Don't be mistaken. The markings were intentionally placed on very particular spots, and not just to line up with where fans deduced already existing locations were prior. Notice one of the markings fall under a missing Russia. We may finally travel to this location and get a history lesson via flashback on what happened here. Why this huge chunk of land no longer exists. The only other instance we've included on something huge resulting in the eradication of Russia was on the moon base, and it could have been great, with Peridot going through the files and data on the central computer. The information on that computer is what makes the moon base the third valuable asset to the murder mystery, luring Steven to find more answers. This information, through blueprints of gem structures, can give Steven a better idea of where to travel. Aside from the computer, there's the ever-elusive orb that has evaded us twice now. Steven was very curious of what exactly this is, and we saw an assumable inactive orb in Jungle Moon's base, meaning these orbs are a solid, tangible object. The purpose of this orb could assist Steven greatly, that assistance being directly from the orb, or Steven's empathy powers reacting to the spherical device, which I'm sure would excite many fans, as the Spear's purpose has been one of the more difficult plot threads to speculate on, as we have had no context or clue of what the heck this thing is. I think literally any answer will satisfy fans, as long as it ties into the story and frankly, just manages to look cool. Now I know there has to be someone in the comment section proposing, why doesn't Steven just immediately go to Korea, to Pink's Palanquin, and fall asleep there to trigger the memory of Pink being shattered? And that's a very valid question. I firmly believe if that was the first place Steven went, fell asleep, and forced himself to see into the past, it wouldn't work. And if this whole concept turns out to be true, I could see Steven actually trying this right away to no avail. Steven going to specific locations in a specific pattern makes sense, especially from a narrative standpoint. It makes no sense for Steven in the audience to see the beginning of Pink Diamond's life as a ruler, jump straight to the end, and then backtrack to the middle. Because face it, even if Steven were to see how Pink was shattered before anything else, he'd be missing a lot of context and left confused if anything. It's like flipping to the last page of a really good book. Sure, you know how it ends, but can you follow what even is going on? Where did this guy come from? Why did this person kick the bucket? And on that note, wouldn't it make sense for Steven not just to see everything through Pink Diamond's eyes, but through Rose's as well? That way he knows why Rose took the fall for shattering Pink, or how she managed to do it if she's responsible. These dreams, flashbacks, visions, whatever they may be, won't just follow Pink Diamond's character arc. While we're going to see how Pink went from having nothing to her name to having a colony, moon-based inhuman zoo, how she may even mature into a respectable leader, we're also going to witness Rose's own journey. How she came to the decision that she has to strike down Pink Diamond once and for all, or even decide to ally with a higher ranking enemy power to meet a common goal. To rewind a little, it actually makes sense Steven will return to Earth's moon base. As we saw in Jungle Moon, a diamond base predates a colony to oversee progress, which means the moon base orbiting Earth was created prior to any of the structures that remain. Steven taking a trip here may very well lead to a flashback fever dream of Pink entering this moon base for the first time, discussing her plans for colonization with the other diamonds. We can see if Pink has matured since we last saw her in Jungle Moon, or if she's only gotten worse now that the diamonds gave in to her demands. We can possibly see her dynamic with Blue Diamond, who likely was the one who fought for her to land a colony in the first place. It's very much the next logical step to take in a series of flashbacks. But can we talk about how this sets up a very crucial and disturbing moment in the series? Steven not just seeing a gem get shattered, but actually experiencing how a gem gets shattered from both sides. I firmly believe if Rose was the one to deliver the final blow to Pink, then we're going to revisit how Pink was shattered twice. One from Steven and Rose's shoes, how she snuck past all of Pink's entourage, and Steven has to watch himself as his mother shatter a gem without any control, having to be in the mindset of someone who wants to shatter. As we know, Savani adopted Pink's attitude in her memory. Then we get to the other side of the coin, how Pink saw everything go down, who contacted her and requested the Palanquin to be halted, revealing the double crosser in all of this. And once Pink steps out that Palanquin with Steven in her conscious, he'll feel what it's actually like to shatter, to fall apart, to no longer, well, exist in the living world. Steven will feel death. Both of these perspectives will not only give us the whole truth, but deliver the darkest scenes in all of Steven Universe. It will tremendously affect Steven as a person and be essential to his growth. Even after the series is over, I can already see this as a standout moment. Oh my god, can you believe they did that? Our first introduction to Shattering was Steven himself feeling what it's like to be shattered and shattering a gem. Which, since I can't see Steven himself evading the censors to the point of committing a murder, or getting murdered himself, abandoning his morals in the former, it's the closest thing we get to either. Alright, we figured out how Steven's going to find out who shattered Pink. That's incredible, truly. But how can he prove to everyone he's telling the truth and that's what really happened? The crystal gems may not detest his revelation at all, as they're aware of his empathetic abilities. Should certain Pearl theories hold up, she may even be able to confirm these visions as fact. The main issue would be proving this to the Diamonds. They already believe Steven is Rose Quartz. Blue Diamond may be onto the fact Steven isn't Rose due to all the confusion and frustration found at the trial. But if the blame was shifted onto a Diamond entirely, might be too hard to swallow. That leads us to our next theory. The only way for the Diamonds to side with Steven on this one, and that's hearing it from Pink Diamond's mouth herself, after Steven resurrects her. But this episode of Crystal Clear has gone on for way too long, so I suppose we're leaving you on a cliffhanger. Better subscribe and have notifications for the next one, where we dive into how and why Steven will bring back to life Pink Diamond. Sorry. As always, these are just my thoughts and I'd love to hear yours. Do you agree with Steven's empathy powers and flashbacks serving as a way to reveal the truth of Pink's demise? If not, where do you find yourself disagreeing? Please leave your feedback in the comments below. I want to work in your ideas and rebuttals into Crystal Clear IRL, and I'm looking to add in a new segment where we sit down and go through these episodes of Crystal Clear. Talk about your feedback. You know how it goes. If you haven't checked out Crystal Clear IRL yet, go. Do it. It's entirely dedicated to bridging the gap between us at the Roundtable and you, the viewers. Because we love you. When we say let's get a discussion going, we mean it. If you enjoyed this video, please sort of like, share it with your theory group chats. And if you're new here, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications to stay in the loop with all things Steven. Swing by our Teespring store and pick up a Steven Universe inspired design. I hope you have a beautiful day. And AwestruckVox signing out. See ya!